Hello and welcome back to Rapid Reviews, part of the You Run podcast here on YouTube. I am excited today to talk about a movie that is so bonkers and so wild and contains Nicolas Cage. And anyone who knows me knows I'm a bit of a Nick Cage fanboy because he is as mental as he is on the screen. He's that mental off camera as well. And he just makes me smile that he just fully embraces whatever crap he decides to do, because he does a lot of crap. This isn't one of them, but he does a lot of bad movies and he just embraces the rubbish that he's part of. And I can't fault him for that. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It's really easy to do. You know how to do it. It's YouTube. You've been here a while. We have a guest who is equally wild, crazy, and mad, just in full Nicolas Cage mode, and also sweltering under the pressure of a heat wave in her home state. She is the host of the Ghoulish Gallery podcast, member of the You Run podcast network, creator of the Sinister Scoop website, which is the horror hub for every indie creator, whether you're an author, a filmmaker, a podcaster, a YouTuber, whatever it may be. You need to go and see the Scoop and become part of the Scoop's team in one way or another by contributing, and they will help share your stuff. It's really, really cool. But I'm going to welcome a very, very hot, a very, very bothered, and a very, very wild Tasha to the show. Hello, how are you?
The best description I've ever had. That's a good one. Angel told me the other day that I am adorably insufferable, and I fully intend to live up to that.
That's a good thing to live up to. Angel recently said she left a message for me on a podcast, on one of the podcasts. And how does she describe me? Um, Deliberately argumentative to a point where it's unbearable, but she can't help but like me.
Sounds about
Which,
yeah, that sounds about
yeah, yeah, it fits. Today we are
oh,
talking about Willy's Wonderland. Um,
yeah.
I I love this movie. I'm going to say it now, so it's out of the way. I don't love this as much as I love Five Nights at Freddy's, but I do love this movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
this has actually become my comfort movie. Like if I have a bad day, it's Willy's Wonderland that's going on.
yeah, and the thing is, this movie, the best way I can describe this movie is it's very rinse and repeat. It's very much Nick Cage does some energy drinks, he cleans, he dances, he kills an animatronic, and it's that 7 times as he kills all of the animatronics in this movie. But it also knows what it is. Like, this movie knows exactly what it is and just
Oh yeah.
leans fully into it. There's no sort of,
Yeah.
at no point in this do they try to be a serious movie.
Thank goodness, because they would have completely ruined it if they had.
We do favorite scenes here. It's kind of where we kick things off. This movie's littered with them. I don't even know how you'll pick one, but where is your favorite moment in this movie?
Ugh. Oh my gosh. Um, why you gotta do this to me? I
I'm
knew this was
sorry. I
coming,
know.
but still, it's so hard. I I would say probably when he doctors himself up with duct tape. Uh, that just such a
The,
choice, man. Come on.
the,
But it's
the
just
thing is, his self care in this is like all the time. Like, bit, it'll be all right. Bit of duct tape around the stomach. I'll be fine. It's great.
yeah. And it's just they do an excellent job of making all these little things that should just be monotonous. They just get increasingly funny every time with the way they do them. Like by the end of this movie, even with the formula that they kind of repeat, I don't ever find myself getting tired of it. So
No,
it's
I
just,
don't.
ugh,
It. it is put together really well, and for me, my favorite scene is not one of the many hand-to-hand combat battles with giant animatronics. Mine is the dance scene. So when he's playing
Mm.
pinball and he's dancing and he's drinking his energy drinks, that is just pure gold. The best bit about that is he ad-libbed that scene. Like, he was told
I'm
he
not
needed
surprised.
apparently his direction was, "You are to be having a good time," and his having a good time was full on dancing, and pinball, and yeah, it's brilliant. Uh, Animatronic design in this is also cool.
Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The oil that goes like spurting everywhere instead of blood. Obviously they don't require that much oil, but I absolutely appreciate the gesture. And then when he's cleaning up, it's so satisfying watching him clean things up. Oh my gosh. Like I want him to come clean my house.
I, I there's two you could edit this movie into a giant cleaning montage where he walks in at a destroyed Willys and leaves with it spotless. You could actually make
Mhm.
that movie and cut all of the animatronics out with just him cleaning and having an energy drink break and going back to cleaning.
Yep.
I
And
let
there are people that would watch that because it is so satisfying.
I I was just gonna say, let me know in the comments if you want the Willy's Wonderland cleaning cut. Let me know, and I will edit the movie and release it here on YouTube.
Do it. Oh my god, do it.
Who's your favorite animatronic?
Um, I think probably the chameleon. I like the kind of twist, like how she can actually change color and everything. And that dumbass kid where she's like, I just need your help. Like she's good at playing kind of the victim
Yeah,
when everybody else under the sun knows that that's not the case, but this dumbass is like, well, maybe. So,
the, the cast of kids around Nicolas Cage are all so stupid.
oh my gosh, they are. And that's another thing where they embrace the insanity of their like they they pick a stereotype and just go balls to the wall with it. Like they don't, oh, this is kind of that person. No, there's no mistaking who each person is in this group.
Yeah, and again, I like that. I like that commitment to it. Me, animatronic wise, I really like the ostrich or the emu, whatever you want it to be. Like, I love that character, and I love the fight that they have. And I think because it's got the long, sweeping neck, the ability for it to do like the head down, head tilt, there's a really cool bit where Nicolas Cage like grabs it by the neck and it goes right into the bird's face, and the bird sort of goes, "Oh, like oh shit, I'm in trouble," and it's so funny, so funny.
Uh, I love it so much. And then there's that random knight in the middle of all of these animals. Like he's so out of place, but I'm so glad he's there because he cracks me up too.
Yeah, the knight is the knight, and it's the girl, are the two that are very clearly people in a costume. The knight in particular
Mm,
is just a guy in a
yeah.
costume, but the others are actual animatronics, and they're on point. They all look great, and it's such a wacky story as well. So, like, you
Yes.
start with like even like the girl who's chained up in her house by the or chained up in the trailer by the like
She's
cop
a
who's
sheriff.
her yeah, like like when that happened, I'm like, I'm confused. Who are you? Why is this? Um, it's very much a Five Nights at Freddy's movie before we got Five Nights at Freddy's. And
Yeah.
I prefer Five Nights at Freddy's as a Five Nights at Freddy's adaptation, but Willy's Wonderland has something that never will. This is R-rated,
Mhm. Yep, they
and
didn't tone
it
anything
does
down for the kiddos.
no, and I like that about this. If there was an R-rated cut of Five Nights at Freddy's, I think that would be the definitive movie. But they
Mhm.
shy away from everything in that, like massively shy away.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
this was
maybe
nice because I actually hadn't even I knew nothing about Five Nights at Freddy's when I first saw this, so just, totally on its own, for Nick Cage to be able to get through an entire movie without saying a single word and to be as strong of a character as he is, like there's nobody else who could have done that.
no, and all the way through the movie, I was expecting like this, almost like a Bruce Campbell moment where it hit us with a groovy or something. But even after everything he goes through, like the closing shots is like right on his face. You're like, he's going to say something. He's going to say something, and he doesn't. I'm like, you bastards! Like I wanted him to say anything.
That's why they
Uh,
didn't do it.
it is, and it's testament to how good an actor he is because he delivers every single emotion in this from annoyed by the teenagers to angry to full on rage to upset. And I get all of those emotions without him saying a word.
Yeah. I might have to change my favorite scene when the kids are yelling at him like, "We're here to rescue you," and he's like, What is Whatever," and he just goes about his business, and they just cannot figure out why he's not concerned. He's like, Psh,
Yeah,
"I got this."
and that's another thing in this movie. Like he is aware of the animatronics very early on, and
Yep,
he gives zero fucks. So, like, he does a bit of
0.
cleaning, he sees an animatronic, he kills it, he bin bags it, he cleans up the mess he made, and then he takes a break and goes and has an energy drink and plays pinball for 20 minutes before he goes back out and deals with the others that he knows are there. He's so
Yeah,
chilled.
and he doesn't try going after all of them, knowing that they're all like sentient. He's just like, "I'll get it when they come for me."
Yeah, he's got the right attitude in life. This is how we should all deal with problems.
So true. Just curb stomp an animatronic gorilla on a urinal and you'll be fine.
The that scene is ridiculous. The plunger on the face. It's
Oh, it's so good.
let's let's give this a score. Where are you scoring this?
Oh, this is a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah,
There's
it's not
nothing about this I don't enjoy.
it's not quite there for me. It's a 4 out of 5 for me. And where
Hmm.
this loses points is the guy, the knight. I've got an issue with the knight. He's goofy, he's funny, but I wish he was an animatronic or I wish he was another animal because I found
Yeah.
all of the animals so much more interesting. Like the gorilla and the ostrich are all hilarious. And this is just like, I don't know, it looks like something out of the old Asterix cartoons. Like this knight with this massive sword bumbling
Uh,
around. It loses marks for that character because I don't know, it just like you said earlier, it just doesn't fit with everything
no.
else. It's like they went,
He's like a
we
Muppet.
need a yes, yes, he is. He looks like oh, what is it? He looks like Beaker. Meow, 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 meow. Now, now that's a movie I want
Oh
to
my
see.
god, I'm never gonna look at him the same.
I want to see Nick Cage versus the Muppets. That's the next horror movie I want.
Oh my god. That's what we need. That's what this world needs.
Nick Cage versus Miss Piggy.
I don't know. I feel like she could give him a run for his money.
She'd kick his ass. There's no question in
Oh,
my
yeah.
mind.
Yeah. No, the slightest
But
offense, and man, he'd be down.
him taking on Kermit would be entertaining, though.
It'd have to be like the gif of like the hooded Kermit where it says just do it, and it's
Yeah,
like trying to give the Star Wars vibes. That's the only Kermit that would stand a chance.
yeah. It's such a cool, goofy movie, and it's so much fun. And again, like we reviewed The Ruins a couple of weeks ago, like this sits in the same category as that, a movie that not enough people have seen.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And
yeah, one of my
like
friends recommended it.
yeah,
Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
no, you're fine. Like, it was recommended to me as well. It was one that someone's like, "Oh, you need to watch this." And I'll be honest, I put it on and I was like, "This is going to be shit," and I knew nothing about it. And then I saw Nicolas Cage. I was like, maybe it won't be that shit. And if I'm being brutally honest, this movie is shit, but it's shit in such a good way.
It's true. Like, especially people who aren't horror fans or anything and necessarily knowing what they're getting into or whatever, they're just like, this movie is trash. Like, what is fun about this movie? You have a guy that doesn't say anything and he fights characters, but like you said, where he doesn't panic about them. He goes back to cleaning. Like, who the hell would go back to cleaning with all of this going on? Like, essentially, it should be a garbage movie, but they do it so well. You have to love it.
I think, like, I have seen lots of people talk about a potential sequel to this. I don't want a sequel. I want a prequel. I want to know why he doesn't talk. I want to know why 8-foot tall animatronics trying to kill him does not phase him at all. Like, he couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I want to know that story.
Ripley's dreaming.
Oh, really?
She just started growling and barking in her sleep.
Maybe she doesn't want a prequel. Maybe she wants a sequel.
But I feel like they don't really have room for a sequel. I mean, what is he gonna do after this? Like, there's Willy's gone. The remaining character, she blows herself up with everybody else, and that is a very satisfying scene when she blows the car up at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like they would have to go the prequel route, like kind of split it between like him and Willy's. I think could be really good.
I think that would be a really good movie, and like having that extra element, I think would make Willy's stronger.
Mm-hmm.
I struggled to say that with a straight face. I'm not going to lie.
This is a PG show.
Oh wow. Favorite character in this movie? I think I already know the answer.
I mean, it's got to be Nic Cage. It has to be.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a curveball in here. I really like the Texan who gives him the job.
McAdoo. Tex McAdoo.
So stereotypical Texan, and he plays it really well. Like thinking like about it now, like the whole plot of this movie is
car salesman.
Yeah, he is, and like I'm just replaying it now. Like this whole movie is so stupid because the reason he's working at Willy's is because he wants to fix his car, and this random dude goes, "Clean Willy's Wonderland, and I'll get your car fixed."
Mm-mm. Oh yeah, from the very beginning, it is so clearly a setup because the tow truck driver. He's obviously been through this a million times. When he pulls out his credit card and he's like, "Oh, nope, don't take those there. We're back in the whatever decades." And then he looks at the ATM that's clearly damaged and out of use and probably not even plugged in. And they're like, "Oh, no, can't use that either." Like, he's clearly been through this so many times. And again, instead of being like, "Something's weird here," he's just like, "Meh, whatever."
I think the one thing this movie did need is it needed a little bit more explanation around the animatronics. So we get kind of half an explanation between the cop, who's sort of almost like caretaker. She gives us some explanation, but this
Mhm.
movie needed this movie needed a William Afton character. It needed a Matthew Lillard to lay it all out.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and I do like that's something else of all the things I like about this movie. Um, the way they kind of set that up between, the sheriff explaining it to the guy from the state that's there to help as backup, and the girl explaining it to Nick Cage. Like, it's cool how they kind of, instead of it being one big long monologue, you get bits and pieces from different places. So I appreciated that too.
Yeah, I love it when she tells Nick Cage, and Nick Cage is like, just just shrugs his shoulders, like,
And
and is that going to stop me cleaning? That's like his whole attitude. Is like, I'm just here to clean.
I just need my
And
car fixed.
also, his cleaning, he does a really good job. And I read up on some facts earlier. Everything that was cleaned was actually cleaned by Nicolas Cage.
What?
So
Oh my god,
his
I would have gotten so sick of that like halfway through the first mirror and been like, "Fuck this, I'm done. Go find somebody else."
Yeah, because Nicolas Cage is a method actor. He's very much like he gets in the
Oh,
roles that
yeah.
he plays. So like he's like
Makes
cleaning the
sense.
mirror, and they're like cut, and he's like, no, I just need to finish. I want to finish this mirror. Set
Can you
design's
imagine, like,
incredible.
oh, yeah. Yeah, they do such a good job. And that cross between, like, the grimy, dingy, horrible things have obviously happened here kind of thing to just go and be in this sparkling, clean establishment that could open tomorrow and be ready to go. It's and it looks just like one of those places when you're a kid that they take you. Like, I could have been there at some point.
Are they actually because in the UK we do not have like places like this that have dancing animatronic figures. In the States, is that actually a thing? Because I've always thought it was made up.
I have never. Okay, that's not true. I haven't seen. So the area that I live in it's like the Great Smoky Mountains, and it is like the number one most visited national park. So there's a few places around it that have leaned very heavily into, the mountains and the bears and that kind of thing. So there are a lot of places that'll have, like, as you're going through, they'll have like the animatronic bears and stuff like that. Not as exaggerated as these are. But they do, it's very much that touristy kind of thing that they go all in for. But yeah, I've never seen anything. Now, I've never even been to Chuck E. Cheese. We had different, when I was a kid, we had like an adventure zone that was like the arcade, pizza, all that.
Yeah,
Um, but I've never seen like a fully moving animatronic quite like they have here.
I'm amazed that with Willy's Wonderland and then with Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm genuinely amazed that there hasn't been a chain that have popped up with a horror theme like
Oh,
this, where you go, you have a dinner, they do a show with the animatronics that are actually people in costumes, then like the
mm,
lights flicker, and they do a whole thing. Like, how has no one done that?
that would be amazing. Like, we have. chains that are like medieval times is one where they
Yeah.
actually, have oh my gosh, yes, you know what that is. Um and there's a couple of local ones, like there's a lumberjack show or whatever. But yeah, like where's the stuff catering to the horror fans? Like we need this too.
Yeah, and the stupid thing is there is a big market for it. So you look at any Fright Night or any thing they did, like Universal Studios do their like monster nights and things like that. They
Oh
draw
yeah, all the
huge
horror nights.
crowds. Yeah,
Yeah.
huge crowds. If you could get and like haunted mazes, they draw attraction obviously through all of October, but also throughout the year as
Mhm.
well. You could quite easily do a themed like animatronic restaurant next to a walk-through indoor haunted attraction, and you would be busy every single day of the week.
Oh, absolutely. I think people really underestimate just how many people out there are horror fans. And I don't know if that's because there's like a stigma attached to it where it's like, "Ooh, you like horror, you're a weirdo." Yes, I am a weirdo, but there are a lot of other
Yep,
weirdos
me
out
too.
there too.
Yeah, and us weirdos need things to do that cater to
Right.
us. Like,
Be on the lookout for the Sinister Scoop ice cream chain.
I, honestly, as soon as you released the Sinister Scoop website, all that went through my head is at some point there is going to be an ice cream available to buy in the merch store.
Oh my gosh. I wish. Like I have this fantasy about opening up a horror shop and it being like, obviously the books, movies, collectibles, art, all of that good stuff. But it would be so much fun to do something like a dessert shop that's, all these ice cream flavors and things like that. But I have enough on my plate right now, Scott. I can't.
Yeah, we'll shelve that one for now. Anyone who owns an ice cream chain who wants to release a Sinister Scoop,
We
contact
will take
Tasha.
royalties. A thousand
Yeah,
percent.
definitely do it. And also, if anyone wants to create a You Run podcast meal of any description, I will take that in the comments. Like if you've got
Yes.
a burger chain or a chicken wing chain or anything, and you want to do a You Run podcast burger, I'm all in for that. All in.
There has to be someone who listens to the show who runs their own restaurant and could come up with something like a Scott burger and a Mark burger. And somebody, please do this.
It,
It'd be
the
amazing.
the Mark the Mark burger would be a weird combination that inevitably is a bad choice, but people would buy it.
Yeah,
That's
it's what does a bad choice taste like? How can we turn this into food?
uh,
Poor Mark.
that's that's our review of Willy's Wonderland. Tasha, time to tell everyone where to find you, how to find you, why they should find you, why you're the best, why your website's awesome, why your podcast is awesome, and all of that.
So we're awesome because we love everybody. Not everybody, but all the people who are awesome. The website is thesinisterscoop.com, exactly spelled how you see it there. Twitter, mine is TMR underscore 8706, and the site is Sinister Scoop 6, and then Instagram is the Sinister Scoop. We are also on Threads, Blue Sky. I'm on Slasher. I think I forgot to say that last time. Um, and we're on YouTube now, so go find us on YouTube. Right now, we've just got our live stream from our award show up, but I actually have an interview with David Roberts from Older Gods that will be going
Oh,
up.
cool.
Love him. He's so much fun. Um, and then the podcast, which is a member of the You Run Podcast Network. The Ghoulish Gallery is currently on standby because there's so much going on, but there will be more episodes. We're kind of thinking about merging it into like the Scoop.
Yeah.
But now it's own entity. And we talk to mostly horror fans, like anybody who loves spooky things with a good story to tell about their local their local hotspots.
Yeah, and big spoiler. Big spoiler. I will be appearing on here at some point in this year, towards the end of this year, because Tasha and the Sinister Scoop are going to get lots of scoops on an upcoming movie that I'm not going to talk about now. They're going to be the only place you're going to see the trailer for the first 2 weeks. They're also going to be the place that's going to officially announce the trailer and officially announce the movie, because the Sinister Scoop are awesome, and they help people in the horror community who need that extra push, and that includes us.
Nobody is too small. I can't talk. Nobody is too small for the scoop. Everybody's got an opinion. These indie movies that are trying to break through the noise of everything else, especially if they're doing Kickstarters and stuff like that. We love to share those and help people reach their goals, and whatever we can do to help people do what they love. So
yeah, which is wonderful. So everyone who is watching now, go and follow the Sinister Scoop. The link for the Scoop on YouTube and all the other links will be in the episode description. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe here. Drop a comment. Do you want the Willy's Wonderland cleaner's cut? If you do, I will sit and painstakingly re-edit this movie together to remove all of the violence and anything that doesn't revolve around cleaning, to give the story of Nic Cage when he turned up and cleaned a restaurant for an hour.
Oh, we need that. We really need that.
Thank you for people. If we get enough comments, I will do it. But I that's a lot of editing. I'm willing to do it, but I need a decent amount of comments. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you for joining me again, Tasha. And we will catch you all next time. I'll see you all later.